And it's just so great to be with you. So let's begin seated, and you can have a seat that works for you. In fact, I think that today I'm going to use my blocks as a seat. And when I take my blocks like this, you know, my whole butt doesn't really fit on it all the way, but it gives it some support, just to give yourself a little bit of support. So if you're in a chair, having your feet on the ground, and if you're seated on the ground, maybe having a blanket under your hips to kind of help you to sit up a little taller, or the two stacked blocks, just another way to use our blocks. And then rock a little front to back and side to side. Let your eyes soften. And allow your tailbone to sink into the earth as the crown of your head extends towards the heavens. You're like this beautiful plant. I like to think of the pelvis as a pot, and you have this spine that's this beautiful plant rising upwards towards the heavens, towards the sunlight. And roll your shoulders up to your ears and back down a few times. And daily life just happens. And especially having little Delilah with us, being with her over the weekend, and now having her with us for a little bit of time. It helps me to see how we can get lost, and I kind of get lost in something, and then coming back to your practice, how helpful that is. Rolling your shoulders up to your ears and letting them release back down. And maybe your spine sort of moves into a bit of a cat and cow, or maybe you move in different ways. Maybe you roll forward and open up, so allowing your movements to make their way from your shoulders into neck, into your spine. Opening up the front of your heart, and then opening your back body. Allowing tension to release from your eyes and from your jaw. Seeing if your breath wants to come with you, with these little cats and cows. And our breath is such a barometer of how we're doing, how we feel. And in regular daily life, our breath maintains itself sort of up in our chest, and just kind of a shallow breathing, allowing your breath to become a little deeper, maybe a little slower, touching base for breath. Letting your jaw relax as you breathe as well. And now, bringing yourself back to center, let your legs extend out in front of you. And if you're like me and you're on this extra height, you could put a blanket underneath of your knees. I'm gonna just roll a blanket and put it under my knees. And in the chair, you just put your legs out in front of you, and you can kind of wiggle them around a little, move your ankles, move your wrists also. Just let your wrists make some nice movement as well. And then if it feels good to you, you can let your legs find a wider shape. I'm gonna have a blanket under each of my knees here. If your knees needed a little more support, you could have your hips all the way on the ground. That would be fine as well. And if you're in the chair, just letting your feet be a little further apart, pressing down into the ground as we find this kind of drawing a rainbow shape from one side to the other. And just letting your breath encourage your movement as you stretch. Maybe bending your elbows a little bit, letting your wrists and hands soften, pressing your heels into the earth or your feet into the earth. Looking down, turning your head purposefully to look down as you move from one side to the other. Coming back to center. And if you're in the chair, just keep your feet where they are. And if you're on the floor, you might bend your feet or bend your knees and bring your feet to the ground. Having a little bit of a squat. You're gonna bring one hand to the inside of your leg and the other arm reaches up. And we'll do the other side, bringing hand down and reaching up with the other arm. Finding a little bit of a twist and seeing if your arm, pressing towards your inner leg can encourage that opening of your chest. Continue to do this just nice and slow. It doesn't have to be very fast at all. In fact, exploring as you go can be helpful. I'm going to do this in the chair just to show you this in the chair. In the chair, you have probably a little bit more freedom of your upper body. And you're using your lower arm, pressing it into your inner leg to encourage this lifting. One side and the other. Breathing, reaching up with your upper fingertips. And coming back down. We're going to come into tabletop, and this can be tabletop on the ground or tabletop in a chair. And on the ground, maybe having some support under your knees, maybe bringing your blocks under your hands if that feels good to you. And in the chair, having your hands on the seat of your chair and having your feet, ankles underneath of your hips. Either way, play around with cows and cats. And moving through your spine, freeing up your thoracic spine, your shoulders. Letting your breath come along with your movements. Letting your jaw relax and your eyes relax. coming back to center, and on the ground, you're going to thread the needle. And in the chair, we're going to do a little bit of a different stretch. So I'm going to cue thread the needle first. Let your right arm extend out to the side and reach up towards the sky like you did in our last movement. And then thread the needle. Let your shoulder come down to the ground. Let your hand relax. Your head comes down to the ground. And in the chair, slowly roll up to standing. Let your shoulders come up to your ears and back down. And bring your right arm across your chest and give it a hug. This is the same kind of stretch. It's this stretch in your outside of your shoulder. And on the ground, you can play around with different movements as well. You can kind of maybe even reach your left arm up and bend your elbow, bring your hand to your low back. Whereas standing, just playing around, maybe letting your arm lift, your lower, let your hand relax, your wrist relax. And take a deep breath and let it go. On the ground, press through your left hand, lift yourself back up and open your right arm out to the side. And standing, let your arm open up and out. And come back to center. Switching sides on the earth, lifting your left arm out to the side. Let's do that too. Standing and then kind of opening up. And bring the arm underneath or across your body. And let your hand relax, let your fingers relax. Adding any little embellishments that you like. You know, on the ground, maybe lifting your right arm up, bend your elbow, and bring the back of your right hand to your low back. It kind of opens you up a little more, perhaps. Or standing, you can lift and lower your arm. And our practice meets us where we are and encourages our breath, encourages the flow of energy through our bodies. And energy is intelligence. You have an innate wisdom running through your body. It's absolutely there. And you're connecting with it through your breath. I'm gonna open back up, opening up, and then bring your arm back down. Hands on the earth, or maybe find some cats and cows. Come into child's pose if you like child's pose, bringing your big toes together to touch, your knees nice and wide, letting your rib cage release onto your upper legs, and standing, finding some nice shoulder rolls. If you're on the earth, let your forehead rock from side to side and breathe into your low back. And here in the chair, step away from your chair a little bit and roll forward slowly. Let your chin and neck relax. And bend your knees and press into your feet. Wherever you are, breathing into your low back, encouraging it to broaden, to expand. Shake your head yes or no. On the earth, if it feels good, you could press up into downward facing dog, or maybe you take each leg independently behind you, straightening the leg and pressing through your heel. And here standing, we'll come back to our tabletop and press each leg behind, stretching your front leg a little. Stepping forward, the other leg extends back in downward facing dog. Maybe you play around a little bit, lifting your knees off of the ground and then placing them back down, or alternating each leg, stretching it behind you, getting the stretch through the back of your leg. And in the chair, that's happening more to the front leg than the back leg as we switch legs. And that's fine. And you could even utilize the back of your chair if you would like a little bit more height. Show that to you. Playing around. There's no need to stay in downward facing dog for any duration of time. You could return to child's pose. Play around here for a few breaths. Child's pose, down dog. Some cats and cows. Play around. What feels good to you? Happy puppy, wagging your tail, looking over each shoulder. Smiling, breathing. The smiling releases tension through the tissue of your body. It affects your physiology. It encourages more of an openness as well. These are beautiful, magical things that happen. Enjoying them. And coming back to a tabletop and slowly making your way into a forward fold. Maybe you do that through your downward facing dog. You could hold on to the seat of a chair or hold on to blocks, letting your knees relax, sort of swaying your hips from side to side. Let your head and neck relax. Maybe you have your hands interlaced in opposite elbow creases. And wherever you are, take a deep breath and sigh it out. Let your arms release and slowly roll up towards standing. Take your time. Ragdoll. Till you make it to the very top, shoulders up to your ears. Bounce around. If you have a chair, make sure it's not somewhere you'll whack it. We're going to play around on the mat. Let your body just bounce around. Sighing releases your diaphragm. Smiling relaxes you. Movement encourages the flow of this energy through your body. Coming back to the center. Pause and let your feet sink into the earth, just feeling nice and supported by the earth, lifted by the crown of your head. Take a deep breath and let it go. I'm going to swing our arms forward and back, keeping an eye out so that you're far enough away from any obstructions. It's like you're flicking water off of your fingertips. Noticing when tension comes up, just where it comes up at, breathing into those spaces. And that can even be mental tension, emotional tension. Sometimes as we practice, different ways that we feel kind of bubble up. Breathing through them, trusting the intelligence of your body to be able to process those emotions so that maybe they don't affect you quite so much. Maybe they lead to a better sense of understanding of yourself. Coming back to center. Let's do side to side. This one's always interesting to me, the stretch in the sides, that kind of hip lifting muscle that we utilize when we do happy puppy. It might just be your hands and your wrists, or if your shoulders feel up to it, they're just doing their thing. And it just feels like a ride at Kennywood or something. And I can't ride rides at Kennywood anymore. Something happened in my mid-30s where my body's like, you don't do that. And that's okay. Going back to center, working with ourselves where we are. Let's do some twists. And the first, feeling your feet sink into the earth and gently twisting. And the twist makes its way from the bottoms of your feet, up your legs, into your hips, into your lower dantian, and into your belly, through your spine, from the base of your spine, your lumbar spine. It's not quite so twisty. The twist really comes from the hips down on the lower portion of your body. And then as it gets up, it makes its way into your thoracic spine, freeing up the space around your heart. And if it feels good, you could turn your head from side to side. We're going to knock on the door of life, letting your front hand hit your chest and your back hand hits your kidney, adrenal line. Now, this is a great movement for just stimulating balanced energy. That's really what our whole practice is for. And when we stimulate more of a balanced sense of energy, somatics is just one way to do it. And it can help us in other areas of our lives. Coming back to center, shake things out, move your wrists, move your ankles, and hold on to your hips. We're going to do some of these sumo wrestler steps, nice and gentle, shifting from one side to the other. And seeing if you can be stealthy and slow as you do, playing around. Your steps might be wider, they might be, maybe you're dragging your foot, that's okay. You're just avoiding the sandworms, you know, if you watched Dune. And if you didn't, you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's okay too. We're all just here to laugh and to move and bring this this collective experience into your individual life. Feeling good about that. Letting your feet point out. We're going to play with some different movements from knee to knee, squatting, things of that nature. And we're going to start with this pressing palms, straightening your legs, palms come together, and then sinking into your hips. We're playing with this straightening, pressing, and sinking. Coordinated effort across both sides of your body. And connecting also the hemispheres of your brain. Next time you reach up, pause there with your legs straight, pausing, and then keep your legs straight. Bring your hands down to your chest. I'm going to take your thumb knuckles and just tap around your chest. Well, sort of like that knocking on the door of life, but we're more around your thymus, your heart. I'm going to work around my little microphone, but you don't. So just go all around. I want you to make a noise as you do this, a noise of ha. Like you're a little kid talking into the fan in summertime. Ha. With me. Around your heart. And then pause and just let your hands rest on your heart. Let your shoulders relax. Smile into your heart. Take a deep breath and let it go. You're going to bring your arms out to a T. We're going to kind of alternate. So playing with one palm facing up and the other palm facing up. And you're going to bend into the knee of the palm facing up and then come to the other side. And your arms could be lower. If this is a lot on your shoulders, your elbows could be bent. And then maybe you reach a little more in each direction as you bend into each knee. Moving around, playing. And this can be nice and slow. There's nothing that has to be fast about it. I feel like it's like that little dance, like walk like an Egyptian or something, and then maybe your head turns to look over one side and then over the other. Coming back to center. Bring your arms down, interlace your fingers behind you. You might turn your toes to face more forward if that feels good, or just opening up and then folding forward. And as you fold forward, you go more or less forward, depending upon what your body thinks works out for you. Maybe your arms reach up, maybe your knuckles reach towards the heavens, maybe you're up a little higher and your arms are low. Even, sometimes some of us, our arms, fingers don't want to clasp, and you can just kind of have your palms pressing down and kind of lifting your arms a little. A strap works really good here, but I didn't cue having a strap, so if you had one, you could hold onto the strap and do that as well. And breathing. Slowly lift yourself back up. Your fingers unclasped, shoulders up to ears, they roll back down. We're going to play with holding the moon. So holding the moon between your hands, keeping a wider stance if it feels good, and rotating the moon. A lateral stretch. And having your legs in a wider stance, it's just something that you might not do on a regular basis standing. It allows you to kind of play with bending your knees, straightening your legs, and your movements can always be smaller. In fact, even if your body is okay with larger movements, you can start to do smaller ones to just explore, see how that feels. You'll make your way into different places in your body. It can be quite fascinating. Slow movements encourage internal force and inner strength. Come back to the center. Let your hands come down, step your feet closer together, about shoulder width distance. So a Qigong stance. And take a deep breath and let it go. Finding softness and structure, kind of bringing them together as you rise and fall, letting your arms lift and lower. Moving slowly as though against gentle resistance. Let your arms come down. Bring your hands to your dantian, center of gravity, center of energy. Now see if your shoulders can stack over your hips and your ears stack over your shoulders. I'm going to step one foot forward and the other toes come slightly inward. So this is very much like a warrior one. Feet can be as close as far away from each other as you'd like. You're gonna find dove spreads its wings, opening up, and then as you fold forward, maybe keeping your front leg straight, bending your back knee, opening up, maybe bending into your front knee, and diving forward. Dove spreads its wings. Strengthening your feet, your ankles, your legs, working with a coordinated effort between your upper and lower body. Stretching your shoulders, stretching your back. Reaching up, opening up, and then letting your arms come down. Roll your shoulders up to your ears and back down. Bring your hands to your dantian. Come back to center. Now notice your breath. Wiggle around a little. Jostling yourself a bit and then finding stillness. Finding a smile. Making your way to the other side. Her dove spreads its wings, playing around with how you want your legs to move. And then as you're ready, opening up, hinging forward. Getting that stretch, and feeling it in your hip, in the backs of your legs. One way that the human body is unlike a machine. Machines typically wear down as they're being used, but the human body kind of finds greater vigor and strength. Machines weaken as they're used, and the human body strengthens as it's used. And that's our ability to think about things, to solve problems, or working with our physical bodies. Usage strengthens our muscles. It encourages that flow of energy. We're more like a garden, always evolving, very much affected by the variables within and around us. I just think that's so beautiful. I'm gonna open up one more time. Let your arms come down, come back to center, hands to your dantian. And take a deep breath and let it go. Let's clear the chi, just making little circles in front of your body. These gentle circles. Noticing sensations in your hands. Being able to, again, just draw your awareness back to right now, feeling the earth beneath your feet, and of seeing if you can relax your eyes and your forehead, your jaw. The decades of habitual patterns, just how we hold our bodies, the tension we hold without even realizing it. becoming more aware of it, being gentle with ourselves. One more time, letting your hands come down and standing. Feel your shoulders relax. It's as though you have a little egg under each armpit. This Qigong stance. Find a smile. And take a deep breath and let it go. We're going to come down to the ground. You could come through a downward facing dog if you want. You could come to the back of your mat with a chair. You could come down to the chair or get there through a down dog with the chair. Let's do a little sun salutation if it feels like a fun thing to do. Bringing your palms together, reaching up and fold forward. Halfway lifted spine. And then making your way back down, maybe to tabletop or to downward facing dog. And bringing your knees to the ground. If it feels comfortable to you, bringing your big toes together to touch and sinking your hips back towards your heels. You might curl your toes under for this, and I'm going to have a seated option for you. Hi, Missy. Missy's here. She's not scared of Delilah. I don't know how that's going to work out for her. Just maybe stretching the backs of your feet or sitting in a thunderbolt posture. And in the chair, something that we can do to stretch the ankles is to sit up kind of in the chair, however you do, and bringing the top of your foot down to the ground. You could do that 1 foot at a time, and that's going to be a big stretch in your ankles as well. You can, of course, bring your toes to the ground. You can lift your heels, kind of playing around with moving your ankles. The purpose, especially as you're on the ground, if you're in thunderbolt, sitting back on your heels, however far you go. Our knees are all different. Just getting that stretch in the tops of your feet can feel kind of nice, or maybe stretching the bottoms of your feet. I encourage you to just play around with that a little bit. We're standing for a while. If you're in the chair, you can alternate 1 foot and then the other. Yeah. And then go ahead and get your legs out in front of you. Sitting down with your legs out in front of you. So in a staff pose, you can kind of press your hands into the ground next to your hips, sitting up nice and tall, stretching your legs out in front of you. And lifting up, and then if it feels good, forward fold over your legs. In the chair, you can bend your knees, let your feet come to the ground, and fold forward here. Forward folds are very restorative. They're very luxurious for your nervous system. Can feel very nice. And if you're seated on the ground, your hands might come to your legs, your shins, your ankles. Then maybe you have your fingers clasping your toes. We're all different kinds of flexibilities, different stability, different experiences. See if your chin can come towards your chest, see if it can relax, and then you might have to walk yourself up a little bit higher because this line of connective tissue along your back body is a little tight. This is just one experience life, breathing into it, being kind to these parts of ourselves. And slowly bring yourself back up. And on the ground, you're going to come into butterfly or cobbler's pose, bending one knee, bringing your foot in, and the other knee, bringing the soles of your feet together, lifting your chest up. And in the chair, pressing your feet into the earth. And envisioning pressing, so you're pressing your feet together as you're on the ground with the soles of the feet together, and pressing through this bubbling wellspring where the ball of your foot meets the arch of your foot. Just imagine really rooting those feet into each other, or rooting your feet into the ground, sitting up nice and tall. And take a deep breath and let it go. If you're on the ground, I'd like for you to extend your legs long, and we're going to do an elevated twist, because I think that feels pretty nice. In the chair, we'll do another twist, and we'll just get there here in a moment. But for elevated twist, take one of your blankets and fold it up so that it's a little higher. You might have two blocks lined up on, let's say, the right side, just to work together. You would sit, or maybe a blanket even on those blocks, a bolster of some sort. You're going to sit on your folded blanket and then lie down. You might have something under the back of your head. And here you have a little bit of a bridge. So this little bit of a bridge is quite restorative. This might just feel nice like this. You want your lumbar spine to be off of the blanket. It's just supporting your sacrum. It's sort of like the edge of the blanket is right under your hips. Bring your knees into your chest and then letting them fall to the side. Having enough height so that this is a relaxing kind of thing. I find that I like a little more height with this, so that I can let my hand just sort of rest on my ribs, and their arm extends, and this can be quite restorative. And so just being there, and anytime you need to come up from these types of postures, it's helpful to roll to your side, bring your chin to your chest, and slowly roll up. So now with the chair, I'm going to do something a little different with the chair. I actually want to do a figure 4 stretch with a twist. So having your ankle across your knee, sitting up, and then twisting in the direction of your bent knee. If this doesn't work, having both feet on the ground is fine too. This just gives you a little bit of a different twist. And breathing wherever you are. It's so nice to have a movement practice and to feel this kind of energy flowing through you, and then to get yourself to more of a restorative place. And I feel like at that point, it's like all the tension, you worked through some of the tension, and now it's like unblocking channels, unblocking the rivers. The energy just flows more freely. Your tissue relaxes a little more. Come to center if you're either way. Bring your knees into center if you're on the ground, moving your bolster to the other side. You could bring your feet to the ground, reorient your hips, do what you need to do before you switch sides. And in the chair, switching sides, bring your other foot ankled across your knee, or maybe your feet stay on the ground if that's better. Finding a twist in the other direction, pressing through your hips, lifting that beautiful plant, that your little spinal plant. Finding a twist makes me think of those little flowers they used to have that were solar powered, and you could put it in your window and it would dance, or things like that. And smile, relax. And if your knees are falling over to the other side, it's just a very restorative place to be. You could be there for longer than we are in this practice. And you feel these kind of waves of relaxation. Sometimes they're like little whooshes that move through you. And coming back to center. You're on the ground, bringing your feet to the ground, kind of wiggling your hips. You might even let your legs extend up overhead to do a waterfall with your hips lifted. That might feel nice. Yeah. From the chair, just kind of getting yourself to a comfortable place. Letting your body relax, letting your hands maybe be on your legs, face down or face up. And also in the chair, something else that can be nice is having a pillow on your lap. You know, something to let your wrists really relax and your hands really relax. And then your shoulders and your neck can soften, and your head can sort of stack over your shoulders, your ears over your shoulders. And on the ground, bringing your feet back down, lifting your hips, removing your bolster, bringing your hips to the ground. Draw your knees into your chest and give them a squeeze. Rock a little from side to side. And as you're ready, make your way into your final relaxation. You might even have a bolster under your knees. I really love final relaxation with a bolster under my knees. I think it feels very nice. And you wiggle around. Just get yourself comfortable. And then let your body relax. Take a deep breath and let it release. Envision that you're lying in an ocean of light, resting in an ocean of light. These waves of this beautiful healing light, and now that you've gotten things moving around and flowing nicely, as you inhale this beautiful healing light, rolls up your body from your toes all the way to the crown of your head, like a wave in the ocean. And as you exhale, it rolls from the crown of your head down to the tips of your toes and bottoms of your feet. This beautiful healing light making its way from your toes and the bottoms of your feet, up your legs, your fingers, your hands and arms, up through your pelvis and your abdomen, your chest, your neck, your head and face. And then it rolls back down from the crown of your head down to the tips of your toes and the soles of your feet. Just rinsing, washing away tension, leaving little sparkles of healing light wherever they need to go. Relaxing your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body. You're connected to everything. Healing is only accessible in the present moment, being here now. And healing doesn't mean being free from all discomfort. not having physical ailments that we have. Healing is deeper than that. Healing allows us to be more present, to have positive interactions, be loving and kind to ourselves more and more each day. It's love. This warm, healing light of love moving up and down like waves in the ocean, saturating every nook and cranny. And to deepen your breath, make small movements with your fingers and your toes. Your wrists and ankles. And give yourself a stretch if it feels good. And slowly roll to your side. Regardless if you're on the ground or in a chair, cross your arms in front of your chest and tap your shoulders. Butterfly taps. Make your way slowly up to seat, lengthening your spine, rocking from side to side and from front to back. Feel your base of your spine sinking into the earth as the crown of your head extends towards the heavens. And bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. And feel the support beneath you. Feel your breath. And feel the gentle pressure of your hands. And give yourself a smile, offering yourself kindness, compassion, peace, and love. Namaste, friends. I thank you so much for your practice today. It is just an honor to get to be with you. And I hope you have a really peaceful day. And I'll see you again soon.